I think the Battlemage is a great mod for Baldur's Gate 3, but I want to spice it up a little bit. What happens if we do a Dex build? Well, let's find out. This is my Arcane Knight Battlemage build for Baldur's Gate 3. We're going to go level by level, combat tutorial, and all the items, you know, all the good stuff. And of course we start with the Battlemage, gives us a few cantrips, as well as Constitution saving throw proficiency and Intelligence saving throw proficiency. We also get martial weapon, simple weapon, musical, light, medium armor, and shield proficiency. Now when it comes to your cantrips, we are going to take Blood Bolt, because I think it looks cool, and we're going to take Ray of Frost. And for your ability points, we're going to have 10 strength, we're going to have 16 dexterity, this is going to help with our weapons and with our initiative, 14 constitution for health and any concentration saving throws, 16 intelligence as this is the spellcasting modifier, 10 wisdom, and 8 charisma. Again, the 10, 10, 8, mix and match these based on what you want. And the same goes for proficiencies, take whatever you feel like you need for your character. Level 2 brings us Spelled Blade. We can do acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder damage. And bear in mind we do have Ray of Frost. That element infuses your weapon. Until the end of your next turn, you do an additional 1d4 damage of that element. And of course you can mix and match this. If you know an enemy is weak to thunder, cast a thunder wave, that sort of thing. Now when it comes to your first level spells, I would personally take Shield, because I think it's phenomenal. And I would take Thunder Wave. Now Thunder Wave, again, really good at ending fights early. Use this to blow enemies off of beams and whatnot. Personally, in my first playthrough, it's the key thing that helped me beat Draw Raglan. And of course, I would take Magic Missile, a great spell to have from the start of the game to the end of the game, because it never misses. And you can upscale it to shoot more darts, all that fun stuff. Okay, Battlemage level 3 gives us our specialization. Before that though, we have to pick our spell slot. And I would personally take Ice Knife. You could also take False Life, or Burning Hands, but for me I'm just going to take Ice Knife. And the Arcane Knight, this gives us Arcane Prowess as a cantrip, give bonus to saving throws from magic equal to half your proficiency bonus. Battlemage level 4 gives us our first feat, and of course we're going to put this into our ASI and we're going to bump our intelligence up to 18. Battlemage level 9 gives us an extra attack, so again, if you make your attack with your main action, you can then do a follow-up. And this also gives us level 2 spells. I would personally take Mirror Image just to boost your AC up. By now you probably know what Mirror Image does, but if you don't, Mirror Image will create 3 duplicates. Those duplicates will each add 3 to your AC. When you take a hit, 1 duplicate will disappear and you'll lose 3 from your AC until all 3 are gone and your AC is back to normal. Really nice way, especially if you're going to be tanking up front, of boosting your AC and absorbing damage for your teammates. Battlemage level 6 gives us War Magic. You've honed your body in Magic 4. After you cast a cantrip, you can make a weapon attack using a bonus action. Really, really fun stuff. Now this kind of gets negated a little bit if you are playing as a dual wielding rogue like we are, because you kind of lose that thing. But if you do want to do a pure strength build, sword and shield, whatever, this works really well. If you did want to go the strength build, totally fine. I would switch your dex and your strength scores, and I would do something such as the Flail of Ages, where you can change your damage types with a really bulky shield. And of course, you get to pick what knightly order you want. You can do the Knights of Solaris, which will give you extra radiant damage, or the Sentinels of Lunaris, which will give you necrotic damage. Pick whatever you think fits your roleplay or whatever. Battlemage level 7 gives us Elemental Slash. Enhance your weapon attacks with elemental magic to add 3 to 18 fire, cold, or lightning damage after confirming a hit. If your weapon is infused with Spellblade, trigger it twice. Crazy. Now, you get one more spell to pick, and I would personally take something like Hold Person, maybe even Cloud of Daggers, or Misty Step. I think Misty Step is probably the best option here, but honestly, pick whatever you think will help your playstyle by this point. Battlemage level 8 gives us our next feat, and before that we get a cantrip. We're going to take Firebolt, just so we've got a fire spell so we can infuse our weapon with fire. And of course we get another feat, and we're going to bump our dex up to 18. If you're doing a strength build, bump your strength up to 18. Battlemage level 9 gives us new spells. As you can see here, we have a bulk of them. For this one, we're going to take Haste. I think Haste is phenomenal. You gain +2 to your armor class and gain an action per turn. Battlemage level 10, Knightly Order Enhancement. You receive further prowess from your Knightly Order. This works depending on which one you picked. Battlemage level 11 turns us a bit roguey. So quick movement. You can move through non-magical difficult terrain without extra movement costs and you're unaffected by hazards. We can also, as a bonus action with our battle points, do dash and disengage. And for a spell here, a few options you could pick. Again, Fireball is phenomenal. You could do Hold Person, you can do Enhanced Ability, you could even do a Minor Illusion if you wanted to, or an Invisibility. Really, just take what you think works your playstyle. I'm going to take Fireball, just because I think it's cool. And our final level, Battlemage, level 12. A few options you can do here. You could boost your Intelligence to 20, you could boost your Dex to 20, you could boost your Strength to 20 if you're doing a Strength build. Or you can use something like the Gauntlets of Hill Giant Strength, which will boost your Strength to 23, leaving your stats like this, and then you can take something like Savage Attacker. Kind of depends on what sort of weapons you want to be using. For me personally, I would do Savage Attacker here, or I'd bump my Dex up. Choice is really yours. If you do want a dual wield, you could even take the dual wield, which will add 1 to your AC. Let me just find that stat for you here. So you go dual wielder. So you can 2 open fine, even if weapons aren't light, and +1 bonus to armor class while wielding a melee weapon in each hand. Again, really pick this depending on your weapons. My video is just a guide, it's still your playthrough. Okay, so for my build, this is what I have personally been using. Savarok's Horned Hell. So we gain Dark Vision up to 3 meters, or if we already have it, 15. More importantly though, Constitution saving throws +1, and the number we need to reduce a critical hit is reduced to 1. Oh, sorry, the number we need to land a critical hit is reduced to 1, if I could actually say it properly. Meaning instead of needing 20, we now only need a 19, 5% improvement. When we take the Flesh Melter's Cloak, we are going to be melee, which means if we take melee damage from someone, they gain 1 to 4 acid damage. Boots of Genial Striding, basically unimpeded by difficult terrain. I would personally switch these out. I can't find the boots I wanted to use, but I would use ones that give you Dimension Door. For armor, the Armor of Agility, add your Dexterity modifier to your armor class, doesn't disadvantage on stealth checks, and saving throw +2, and you can see our AC is a lovely 21. For gloves, the Gloves of Belligerent Skies. So when the wearer deals thunder, lightning, or radiant damage, we inflict 2 turns of reverberation on the target. Reverberation is awesome, so if we check that out, -1 penalty to strength, dexterity, and constitution, and when the entity has 5 more turns of reverberation, it takes 1 to 4 thunder damage and possibly falls prone. For your first ring, the Caustic Band, just boosts your attack damage by 2. The Strange Conduit Ring, so while concentrating on a spell, we gain 1 to 4 psychic damage. Haste, obviously being a concentration. The Necklace of Elemental Augmentation, so when one of your cantrips deals acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder damage, add your spellcasting modifier to the damage dealt. For a dagger, Bloodthirst, so improved critical, number you need to roll critical hit is reduced to 1 and it can stack, meaning instead of being a 19 we now need an 18. We also gain Exploit Weakness, so creatures hit with this weapon receive vulnerability to piercing damage, and if we put it in our offhand, would get True Strike Riposte. When a creature misses you with a melee attack, you may retaliate and gain True Strike. We should switch these, I put them in the wrong hands, so I will do that before combat. And Armor Class +1. Ambusher, so +1 to initiative rolls and advantage on perception checks. In combat we deal 1 to 6 necrotic damage against creatures that haven't taken a turn yet. And then for a bow, the Dead Shot. Improved critical, the number you need to roll critical hit reduced to by 1 again. This means it's now only a 17, that's a 15% improvement. Keen Attack, the wielder doubles their efficiency bonus when rolling ranged attacks with this weapon. So that is the build, let's go show it off. Okay, as you can see we are in combat and you'll see our lovely modded class is 3rd in the initiative, really up there, almost joint with the rogues on this playthrough. Okay, so it is now our turn. The first thing that we are going to do is we're going to cast Haste, and we're going to boost our actions per turn. Again, because we're now concentrating, this will boost our damage by 1 to 4, thanks to our ring. And we're going to start throwing out some damage here. And there you go, you'll see we have all that damage on them, and we've given them 2 turns of reverberation. We also can still pump out some damage. Unfortunately we did miss, but 3 attacks per turn and we casted the spell. You'll see we maintained our concentration then. Okay, we are back to our lovely class and we're going to just pump out damage on our first round. So, you'll see all the damage we pumped out there. We got all the reverberation. Just constantly pumping this stuff out. We can still do more attacks or we can start throwing some spells around. So, if we want to, we could do a mirror image and boost our AC. You'll see there is no difference here, so do not bother upscaling it. And now our AC is going to be about 31, 33, there you go. meaning we maintain concentration better, meaning we can continually pump out all these extra attacks. And there you go, 1 big miss, 2 big misses, concentration not in doubt yet. Now we can constantly also start throwing out some spells. So let's do a Ray of Frost on... We will do this one here. There you go, see with 15 damage with our cantrip. We now have Cold Infusion on our weapon, meaning we can come in here with our offhand, and you see we got that extra cold damage now. And we still have more attacks we can pump out thanks to our class abilities. And again, we have the movement speed, we have the attacks. We can start closing down enemies and just dwindling the numbers down. Lots of damage, lots of reverberation. And we still have tons of spell slots available. We can continue to bump out the mirror images to boost us up. We can throw out some firebolts and infuse our weapons. The options are really endless. And you see, we can just keep getting these out, getting those crits as well to really boost the damage. Now, fortunately, they are rogue and rogues are tricky, but you get the point. Huge crit chance. We can continuously pump out the damage, build reverberation, get the extra damage thanks to that. It's a really great setup class. And again, like I said, we still have those spell slots, so let's do a level 1 Ice Knife. We now have that Cold Infusion on our weapon again. We can come over here, we don't want to loot. We can use our bonus action to Misty Step, because that's a quick dash. Not what I meant to do. I wonder if we can jump inside. We cannot. Well then, sadly, we are just going to run all the way over like a rogue would. You can see we have the movement, which is crazy. They are coming, see? And that really is the build. Pumping out so many points of damage with the haste, with the mirror image, and just dwindling enemies down so quick. So I really hope you have enjoyed this build. If you have, please let me know in the comments below what you think about it, what you'd change, do differently, what you'd add, other items, all that fun stuff. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, it helps me tremendously, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.